Sometimes in the middle of 1944, the war was turning bad against the Germans. The Russians were advancing westward, and Schindler was ordered to deliver 700 of the people that he had, of the 1,000 people that he had there, he was ordered to deliver back to Kraków-Plaszów, and this would have been in the summer of 1944. At that time, I remember standing in formation where Oskar Schindler, together with SS guards and dogs by their sides, were walking up and down the rows of the 1,000 workforce and selecting people that would remain evidently now I know, but at that time I didn't know which group is meant for what. But I remember them doing the selecting, and at one point in time I realized, or at least it occurred to me, right or wrong, it occurred to me that maybe I am in the wrong group of people. And when Schindler came close to where I was standing in that formation with the SS guards being there, I stepped out of the formation, stepped up to Oskar Schindler and yelled out to Oskar Schindler, "Herr Schindler, kein Tischler ist geblieben." In English that means, Mr. Schindler, no carpenter was left. At that time I had absolutely no idea what I was saying was true or not true, because I did not know who was selected and who was standing on one group and who was in the other one. But I said that because that's the only thing that came to my mind, and I just didn't know what else to say, to somehow remain with Oskar Schindler. I already knew at that time, I sensed that already, that remaining with Schindler, whatever, will be much better than going anyplace else. Lo and behold, this worked. Oskar Schindler grabbed me by my arm and put me into a group of people that eventually wound up to be a group of 300 people. And these 300 people remained in the concentration camp of Oskar Schindler's, while the other people were delivered in the summer, end of the summer of 1944 to Kraków-Plaszów. And rumor had it one day that Schindler was called to the SS headquarters in someplace not far away in the city near where we were, to respond to a charge that we had more food in this camp than the population, than the Czechoslovak population outside of this camp. And the way I remember that event is that we were locked we were not locked in, but we were in the barracks. And we were standing practically by the doorways and windows, awaiting, hoping that Schindler is going to return. We knew that he went, and we somehow, either he told somebody and somebody told somebody else, and before you know, the whole camp knew it, that Schindler was called into headquarters to answer charges. We were standing by the windows, doors, awaiting Schindler, our protector. That's the only one that can protect it. And lo and behold, sometimes late in the day, Oskar Schindler arrives. And if I understood it, when he loaded up, when he went there with a load of whiskey and chocolates and everything in his car that he took off to the headquarters. But when he came back, he was drunk. I remember seeing him in drunken state, getting out of that car of his and calling for the engineer, and if I recall it correctly, the engineer's name, a German engineer, not a Polish or a Jewish inmate, but a German engineer by the name of Scherhorn or Schellhorn. He called him out, and in German, I couldn't hear the details or anything, but he was pointing out to him and yelling that over here on this side, we will have to build a tall At that time, I understood it somehow to be 30-foot tall fence, solid, so the people couldn't see to the inside of the camp. Now,